New Age deception number 10. And this is the last one. The truth does not need to be defended. You hear this constantly. Oh, the truth doesn't need to be defended. It speaks for itself. Oh, really? You want to explain to me how that works when so many people don't know what the truth is? They don't know the difference between right and wrong? Truth doesn't have a physical voice. We are the people who truth works through. Those who know it. So, they say since truth doesn't need to be defended, don't ever confront anyone on their bullshit. Slide number 123. Never confront anybody on all the things they're doing wrong, on their total bullshit. Don't confront them. No, that's confrontative. We don't want that in the New Age movement. We don't want any confrontation. We don't want people saying unapologetically, what you're doing is wrong, you should not be doing this. This is wrong because it causes harm to other people, and explain how it actually causes harm to other people. No, that would be calling someone on their bullshit. We can't have that. That's confrontative. We don't ever want to talk about the negative, remember? Never talk about the negative. Truth doesn't need to be defended. As it's being totally destroyed in the world, it doesn't need to be defended. No one needs to come to its defense. It's just dying, it's being slain, it's being murdered. But don't come to its defense. It'll defend itself. So never confront anyone on their bullshit. This, ladies and gentlemen, in itself is bullshit. The correction to this nonsense, this New Age nonsense, is that which can be destroyed by the truth should be. A quote by Hodgel. Okay? So, if truth is a destructive process, it's not an additive process. Truth strips away the lies. It's an acidic process that eats away at what is false. It's apophatic. It works through the negative, through the dissolving process. It takes away, it chips away at the stone like a statue that's inside of a stone. You chip away all that is not part of it. It's not additive, it is subtractive. And we are the vehicles by which the truth operates in the world. We are there to break down the lie. The lie needs to be broken down. People's ego needs to be broken down. They need to understand that they are doing something that is immoral. Not only by supporting violence and slavery, by doing the physical tasks that lead to violence and slavery through the state, through government, through the police, through the military, but by supporting it at all. Ideologically saying that you support any of that. You are supporting slavery. We need to break down that ego by continuously putting the speech out into the world that is morally wrong and unacceptable. Doesn't matter who's ready to hear it or not. The idea cannot be unheard. We need to create a bullshit-free zone where we do not apologize for any inconvenience that we are creating by speaking the truth. The people who currently don't understand the truth are the ones who need to offer an apology and say that they were wrong. Not us. I do not apologize for being vitriolic in my speech against immoral people. Immoral people. I am going to tell them at every opportunity that they are wrong. And they know deep down inside they're wrong. At a soul level, they know they're wrong. They know that they're immoral. And they want to offer justifications for continuing their immoral behavior. They want to say, I got to do this for money. It's my job. This is all I know. This is all I can do. No excuse. I don't accept it. No one should accept that as an excuse for the continuance of immoral behavior. Wrong. If we don't put that idea out there, it will not take root. We are the vehicles by which the truth operates in the world. The truth does not have a voice itself. It is a concept. It is a law in existence, but it doesn't have a human voice. We have to be its voice. Slide 127. The universe is spoken into existence. Once again, those who are speaking, that's how the world's going to become. The media is speaking the lie constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 and a quarter days a year. The propaganda and lies never stop being spoken. This is why they're kicking our ass, ladies and gentlemen. We have to become the voice and the defender of truth. Yes, truth will exist. It will still exist whether we do that or not, because truth is always true. It doesn't matter whether people are here or not. We can be destroyed and truth will still be. So yes, it is true that truth can never be destroyed, but we can be destroyed, and that destruction will happen when we refuse to be the defender of truth, when we refuse to take the truth into ourselves and then defend it against the monumental lies that are being spoken every moment of every day. We have to become a louder, more forceful, more powerful voice than the voice of those lies. And until we do that, not one thing is going to change here. We have to take up that mantle. We have to take up that sword and be a defender, a knight in the service of truth. And that is becoming a defender in the service of both the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. You are defending the sacred feminine principle of truth and the non-aggression principle, and you are exercising the sacred masculine duty of taking up that mantle and being that defender. Slide number 128. Never, ever, ever, ever give up. This is about sustained willpower, as I've said before. Rage against the dying of the light. Be that holder of that torch, of that flame of knowledge, of truth, and a beacon of freedom. No matter what is happening, continuously exert your will. If you know what the truth is, you have a responsibility to continuously speak it, to continuously defend it, and to continuously bring that message to other people, whether they want to hear it or not. It does not matter whether they do not want to accept it. And people will say, well, that's violence, continuing to try to bring something to somebody that they don't want. No, wrong. That is an obligation. An obligation. If you know what the truth is, and other people you know by what they're saying to you, you know that they do not know it, you have an obligation to continue to speak it, because the universe, the quality of our experience, is spoken into existence. And this is why it's in a tragic mess of a state, because we are not taking up that sword of truth and putting it into and swinging it by using our voice. That's why words and sword all use the same letters. People don't even look at simple things like that. That's synchromistic. It's there for a reason. The sword of truth, it's wielded through words, through speaking the truth into existence. Speaking the acceptance of the truth into existence. Like I said, truth will always exist. We need to get out of the New Age religion cul-de-sac. Slide number 129. The New Age religion cul-de-sac, which is what this has all been about. Shutting down the masculine. Shutting down the sacred masculine of action. A different reality can be spoken into existence by us if we care enough to learn the truth and then develop the courage and the will to defend it at all costs. And once again, this is done by speaking the truth into our daily lives. When we do that, that's when more people will become awoken. When they will recognize their sovereignty. We can create a new reality. It can be spoken into creation by us, the vehicles of the truth. But we have to care enough to learn the truth for ourselves, to know it, then develop the courage and the will to speak it to others. That when we do that, that's when we're going to change internally, as depicted on slide number 130. And as a result, when we understand that sovereignty and we have come into that level of enlightenment, then the chains that are binding our whole world are going to crumble, as depicted in slide number 131. Only when that happens, only when that occurs, when we develop that courage and will to speak the truth into existence. When we do that, we'll see a world emerge that we can scarcely even imagine right now. A world based in truth, above all else, a world based in love, higher consciousness, and a world that is truly free. That's on slide number 132. And that process can only happen when we ourselves, in slide number 133, free our minds from the illusions that we have been led to believe our whole lives. When we free our mind, that is the beginning of that process. When we come out of the illusions that we have been taught, the shackles that have bound the mind for millennia, the mind of humanity for millennia, that is an internal process that is a choice. It is a choice that is based in opening our heart. Love. Do you want it? Do you want to know the truth? Is that desire present within you? Because that's where it has to start. It has to start with that desire. And that is born of the heart, which helps us to free our mind and expand our consciousness. That's what love is, the expansion of consciousness. And being open-hearted and open-minded enough to take the truth into oneself. Only when we engage in that process, and in doing so free our mind from illusions, will we ever break our chains and become truly free externally, as depicted on the last slide, slide number 134. So that is the end of the presentation. I want to thank everyone for listening this far, if in fact you have gone all the way. And I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you've gained some understanding from it. And if you see fit, share this presentation with as many other people as will listen to it. Break it up into many parts if you have to. Listen to a little each day. I wanted to go through it and do it in one podcast, but, you know, take it at your pace. That's the whole point. So I want to thank everyone for their patience. I know this was a really long one, and I want to say that we have to really become motivated to take action ourselves. Forget about what other people are doing, or even what I'm doing. Get involved. Get motivated. Speak to other people. Most of all, speak to people who think that they're the controllers and that they think they have to do this. Because they can understand this if they simply apply themselves a little bit and stop doing what they're doing. And get out of the fear that leads them to believe that this has to be done. It can be changed, even at this late time. It can be changed without even going into the horrific levels of suffering that are going to be required if these people keep pressing and pressing and pressing to do what they are doing. Them above all else, this message has to reach. So anybody who knows people in that position, please take this message to them and help them to understand it. So that's all for today, and remember everyone, there are only two mistakes that one can ever really make on the path to truth, and that's not starting and not going all the way. Thanks for listening to What on Earth is Happening. We'll see you next time on the next podcast.